Welcome back, everyone. Today is the third day of World FTD Awareness Week, and our theme is sustain. My next guest and I will focus on this day in two ways. First, on food and the power of sustenance with our AFTD Food for Thought fundraiser. Second, on sustainability, specifically sustaining the collective work it will bring to end FTD and all forms of neurodegenerative disease, and how you can get involved with starting your own Food for Thought event. I'm grateful to be here with Nicole Petrie, a model, activist, care partner, vegan, and a strong AFTD volunteer in multiple contexts. Nicole is someone with a big social media presence who I've been following ever since FTD came into our family's world. She bravely shares her mother Cheryl's journey with FTD while being a strong care partner and advocate, and I'm grateful for the light that she is shining on this space. Nicole, welcome. I am so happy to have you here today.
Thank you for having me.
So I am so moved by you, Nicole, in so many ways. Your resilience is nothing but inspiring to me. Can you share with us what it's been like for you to become a care partner with your father for your mother, Cheryl?
Yeah, of course. My mom was diagnosed with FTD when I was in my early years of college, and I went to a school that was pretty close by, so I was able to go back and forth to help with her care in the beginning. And then I moved away to pursue my modeling career, but was still going back and forth between home and jobs, and was pretty much spending all of the money that I made from jobs to travel back and forth. But I was really loving my career and really wanted to be there for my mom and for my dad. And so that's what I was doing all the way up until COVID hit, and then I moved home full time. And that time, of course, was really difficult. I don't think that many people truly understand what goes into being a care partner until they are one themselves. And so, yeah, I got to see the good and the bad all through that time. I also got to see how hard it is for caregivers to ask for help when they're in these situations and when they're giving care to someone in their family, especially. And so I was really grateful that I could be there to help out with my mom's care and to take some of that load off of my dad. And that time also really allowed me to build a really special bond with my mom and really learn more about the disease and get more involved in raising awareness for it. So I'm so grateful for that time. We really have a really special relationship now that I'm so thankful for. And then once COVID died down, I moved back to Florida where I was signed for modeling, but started to go home more and more frequently. And then around Christmas, my mom had a setback in her health. And thankfully, she's doing so much better now. But that setback really made me realize how special my time with my mom is and how much I wanted to be here for her. So right after I came home from Christmas break, my partner and I started packing up our apartment, and we moved back to Wisconsin full time at the end of February. And we've really enjoyed it. We think it's a great decision that we made, and we've been really happy here. So yeah, it's been great. I've been able to spend a lot more time with my mom and continue to do the work that I've been doing with AFTD and with some other organizations as well.
Nicole, how old were you when your mom was diagnosed?
I was a sophomore in college when we got the official diagnosis, so probably around 20-ish. 2021, and we had started to see signs and symptoms of the disease much earlier than that when I was in high school, probably the end of high school.
So I spoke with Lauren Miller-Rogan from Hilarity for Charity earlier this year, and we talked about what this journey is like for younger people who didn't necessarily expect to be thinking about dementia caregiving for a loved one so early on. So what do people need to understand about what it's like for a care partner to a parent at a young age while you were trying to get your career and your life to where you want it to be as an individual?
Yeah, I think, of course, that's something that's really hard to deal with emotionally and to try and cope with that at a young age when you're going through these transitionary periods already. And a parent is someone that you would look to in those times for guidance. And this disease doesn't really allow that. When parents diagnosed at such a young age, you don't really get that experience with them. That's kind of taken from you. But not only that, it's such a financially difficult disease, and it's so costly to have this diagnosis. $120,000 a year average annual cost. And I know personally, I've never made anywhere near that in a year. And I still don't. And I don't know how many people that are around my age that do. So if you don't have family or a community to help you, that's already a very difficult thing. On top of emotionally dealing with it, and then it's also hard to find that community if you don't have immediate family members or family that can help you. It's hard to find community outside of that because there aren't peers that are around your age that can truly relate or empathize with that because, like I said before, you don't truly understand it until you go through it, and many people are not going through that until they're in their older ages or until they've gone through their career and they have a good foundation and they have peers in a community that are there to support them. So being younger just makes a very difficult disease, and caregiving, which is already very difficult, I feel even more difficult.
When you started going through this and then you realized that you needed support, what were some of the organizations or places or people that you turned to sort of help you navigate?
Through TikTok, I was connected with the AFTD, who's been incredibly supportive to me and my family. And they've given me so much guidance and learning about the disease, and then also getting connected with other people who are going through similar journeys. And then recently, I've been connected with Lorenzo's House, which is focused on younger onset dementias and supporting families that are going through this during younger times in their lives and younger ages, which I think is really important and really nice.
So I would love for you to share how you've used your platforms to have an impact in FTD awareness.
Yeah, so I have shared mostly on TikTok and Instagram. And like I said, I really saw the community on TikTok grow really rapidly. And I'm seeing it more so on Instagram as well now. But it's really great just to see so many people interested in learning and talking about all forms of dementia and brain health and caregiving. And I think it's really important for everyone to share their story, but even more so for those of us who have careers and platforms which allow us to talk to large audiences and raise the awareness for these diseases that is so needed.
Yeah, I think you do such a beautiful job, and you're so gracious with how you share. It was so helpful for me in those sort of in that beginning time of when we first received the diagnosis, of really not knowing really what FTD is or how it progressed and what symptoms could be. And I know they are sometimes different from person to person, but I think you've just done a really beautiful job with being able to put content out that is done really respectfully and beautifully, and you're educating at the same time, which is really just so needed, I think, within this space, especially if you don't know, so many people don't know what FTD is. And I think that you've done such a great job with being able to educate others in that way. So thank you for using your platform in that way.
Thank you.
So you do so much professionally as an activist, as a care partner. How do you keep all that going, Nicole? I ask in part because I think a lot of care partners do so much, and it's worth comparing notes on how we keep it all going. I know I know that question is like, it looks like we are keeping it all going because this is,
Yeah.
putting out there, but I know what it looks like behind the scenes. But I would love to hear from you about how you keep it all going.
Yeah. Of course, I think it's important to say that social media shows all of the best parts a lot of the time, and I try to be realistic with a lot of my content, but I struggle just like every other caregiver out there. I think that's important to say. But I try to really prioritize my mental and physical health, and I think that helps a lot. And that's really important for all caregivers, especially the mental health. I think therapy, just staying active, staying involved in your hobbies and your interests, that's so important. I also think I'm so motivated by exactly what you said, that there are so many amazing, inspiring, and multifaceted caregivers out there that deserve recognition and support for the work that they're doing every day. And I want them to feel inspired to continue to go after their goals, and that they're recognized and that they're seen.
Beautifully said. Nicole, I want to shift gears and talk about AFTD's Food for Thought campaign that you and I took part in. So Food for Thought, it's a grassroots fundraising and awareness campaign focusing on food and FTD education. And this is being held right now. It started on September 24th and goes until October 8th. And we hope that you'll be inspired and you would consider doing your own video or recipe or bake sale or whatever, to be able to raise funds for the FTD, because this is a fundraiser. And Nicole and I, so we did our video that I'm going to link at the bottom of this. At the bottom of this video, yours was so good. I loved yours so much, and it made me want to redo mine, because I'm like, oh no, I didn't do the whole recipe, and you just did such a beautiful job with yours. I just want you to know that. Tell me about the recipe that you chose for Food for Thought.
Yeah, so I made Swedish pancakes, and it's a recipe that was handed down from my great grandma Stell. So it's heirloom recipe, and it's a really special dish for me and my family, because my mom would always make it on like long weekends or just like really sunny, happy Sunday mornings is how I always remember it. And just gathering around the table and having Swedish pancakes with the whole family. And I would always bring it in for like school potlucks and that kind of thing. So it was a really special dish to me, and I'm really happy that I got to make it and share it with everybody. And I hope everybody enjoys it.
It looks so good. Like it was kind of like a crepe, I would say.
Yeah.
Is it like a crepe, but thicker than a crepe? And yeah, and you used all vegan ingredients for that?
Yeah.
That's very impressive. Tasted just as good as you remember?
Yeah, just like I remember. I was actually pretty surprised. It was pretty spot on.
So I did a recipe out of Ina Garden's cookbook. She's the Barefoot Contessa, and I'd never made this one before, but Ina Garden is like special to me and our family, because we used to binge watch Ina Garden on Food Network and just watch episode after episode after episode. And then, you know, we would like fantasize and like wish that Ina would come and cook for us, or we would go to her house in the Hamptons and like sit outside while she was like cooking for us in her garden. But that never happened, unfortunately. So Bruce ended up buying me all of the Ina Garden cookbooks, because I think that he would hope that like it would inspire me to do all of the recipes. And I did do a lot, but just not as good as her. But they would probably say like, oh, this is the best one yet. I love this one. Like less is hard. Like, I mean, you know, a scale of like 1 to 10, if she's at a 10, my recipes would turn out like at a 2, but he was always like very encouraging to like keep going. So, so again, Nicole and I have set up a fundraising page with the AFTD. It's attached to our videos of us making our recipes, where you'll be able to donate any amount to accelerate AFTD's mission to honor anyone that you know who has been affected by this disease of FTD. Okay, I'm going to get into our calls of action, Nicole. Visit our Classy campaign page through the link in the video description below. Donate any amount in support of AFTD's mission and share a recipe that's special to you and your family, maybe something drawn from your experience with your loved one with dementia. If you don't have the means and can't make a donation today, we hope you'll share a recipe that's important to a loved one in the comments below. Another way you can help to sustain this community. Tell others about what you're doing on social media. If you go to the AFTD.org via the link in the video description below, you'll find messaging and graphics you can download and share. If you haven't already, we encourage you to change your profile picture on social media. Just go to the link in this video description and follow the instructions to show the world you care about FTD. Nicole, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate all that you're doing in this space. Stay strong, and I hope to see you soon in person so I can give you a big hug.
Yeah, me too.